Hey guys, we are going to do a little tip today. This is probably one of the most common questions we get. This and trigger jobs, we cannot share all the details on trigger jobs because that's our bread and butter, but we can show you guys how to tune the extractor. So we've gotten several requests of this for this, and a friend of mine asked me last night how to do it, and it reminded me that I needed to make this video. So we're going to do it right now. You can do everything that I'm getting ready to do. You should be able to do it at your house, no problem, if you have a file and if you have a vise. If you don't have a vise, you can use the back of the slide, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. So we're going to come over here to the buffer because it's just a little bit faster. We're going to break the corners to make the extractor easier to go in and out of the slide, and then the radius where the bottom of the radius or corner here where it is engaging the cartridge, you want to break that corner, but just a little bit, because if you take too much off, you will ruin your extractor. So you just want to barely hit that with a file or a buffer wheel, whatever you have, and just barely get that so there that the cartridge is feeding really smoothly and easy. So I'm going to flip the camera around here on the buffer wheel and get started. So first of all, we're going to hit the back of this corner right here. See there, the radius that we put on there. And now we're going to hit the top of this corner there and right there. Now the cartridge is not hitting any of these spots. This is just to get the extractor in and out of the slide smoothly, and just makes it easier for reliability and stuff like that. All right, now we're going to, this is, if I can get this thing to focus, this corner right here is where it's engaging the cartridge. So we're just going to barely break that corner right there just a little bit, and it helps with feeding, smoother feeding. So you can see there, it did not take much. You can see the difference between the two corners there. Didn't take much, but it's just enough so that way there the cartridge will slide up onto the breech face a lot smoother now. All right, now let's go over to the vise, or back to the bench. All right, back over here on the bench, I'm gonna show you guys the tension on the extractor here, how loose it is. So, I don't know if you guys can see that for sure or not, but there is a decent gap there between the extractor and your cartridge. So, I'm gonna show you guys how to tune the extractor or get your tension by using the slide, and then you will be able to do the same thing in a vise if you have one. Recommend using it in the vise, that way there you do not damage the slide at all, but we've been doing this for a while, so you don't have to worry about damaging your slide, but it is a little bit easier in the vise. So you're going to come in here to your extractor hole in the back of the slide, and you're going to bend it from about this much up from the hook here. Is about where you're going to put it in there. Back of the slide here like that, and then you're just going to bend it over like that. All right, you can see the slight bend we have. Now we're going to put it in here and check it. Need to go a little bit more. Pop that back out. Can you start that up again? No. All right, and there we have extractor tension. So now this is going to change depending on the caliber of the gun, whether you're shooting major or minor. So this is all going to be, if you're going to be doing this at home, you're going to want to test all of this with the ammo that you're shooting and figure out what tension you need for your gun. And do you have any tips on that?
So major 9 and 38 super, generally you want a little more tension.
Okay.
With minor 9, because you're using a lighter spring, less recoil, you have less slide tension going forward, so you can't get away with this harder extractor tension.
Okay. All right, so more tension for your major power factors, less tension for minor power factor. But like I said, you're just gonna have to mess around with the loads that you're using and figure out what tension's best for you. You can do this with extractors that have been coated, non-coated, it doesn't matter. So anyways, if you guys have any questions at all with this technique, let us know, shoot me a message, and we'll be happy to help you out.